the channel. Episode 63, as Mark always says. This week's episode, it's still a week's episode, isn't it? Even if it's every fortnight. We're going to call this one Low Loader Driver's Survival Guide. So, Low Loader Survival Guide. So we're going to try and fill in as many bits of hints and tips and advice I can get in about how to make your life easier on the world famous building sites of Great Britain. And any other place we might go to. Don't try and reverse into a small site when you don't need to. All you need is enough room to get that machine off. And as it happens today, we're going to take that scissors lift away. We should be able to reverse in between that skip and that side. If not, we'll just move it with a digger and draw onto the road from there with a small machine on. Try to do your manoeuvring with either empty or with the smallest piece of equipment you've got. Don't try reversing a horrible big thing like that where you can't see around it. If you don't need to. If you need to, you reverse it, but try not to. The Survival Guide, next edition. So this is the beauty of the OSD. So you can move special types, but you can also remain within construction and use, remain within 44 tons and move a bread and butter piece of equipment, which is a 13-ton excavator and 2 buckets, which is completely normal in plant hire and nearly what we do nearly every day, to be quite honest. It isn't 30 tonners and crushers, it's just diggers like this. Turn buckets to the side when they're small like this. As you can see, that is particularly easy to turn to one side when I want to get it off, or even track alongside it to pick it up once I've got the machine off. So there was a time when I used to secure buckets with straps, but if you cannot guarantee that bucket will sit flat, you must use a chain. Straps are not satisfactory for securing buckets if you cannot guarantee that they will remain flat. You see here we've got the track motor to the front. If you ever do a training course, they will tell you to put the track motor to the front. I'm not just being pedantic about it. The reason why you do is that the idler at this end is spring loaded. Can you see it there? There's a spring in there, if you can just see it. So you can't have a spring-loaded device sat against dunnage. You need to have a rigid device against your dunnage. So this 13 ton is a ground worker's tool, and it's got a blade. When we've got a blade, is sat on the front of the machine. Obviously we reverse the machine on because we've got the track motors at the front. You cannot crowd that boom up against that blade. It'll be sat up in the sky up there somewhere and back down like that. That's not satisfactory. Satisfactory though is that it's a jolly good place to secure your chains from. So at least there's something in it. And so we're still using the 13mm chains, 10-ton tension in every one of those, and that is an integral part of that blade that can be used to secure that machine. A viewer suggested to me that I should use a tow hitch on a dozer. You could probably use the holes in a tow hitch on a dozer if you could get your chains to fit in it, but you cannot use a pin on a tow hitch because it is not an integral part of the machine, and you cannot verify the veracity of the quality of that pin, so don't use it. Out on the road you've got guys who do the machines that go on the railway tracks. They don't always, but tend to have the boom out a long way like that, because they're the same, they've got railway wheels there and they can't crowd up the bucket the same way. So when we do have a bucket stretched out like this, we've got the hitch pointing through the ramps, but because we're using a bucket, it's best to use a chain to secure it. So the sharp edge, well, it's not a very sharp edge on this bucket, I'm afraid, doesn't rub away on the strap. Just use a chain. When I was a young driver, we used to run a binder round there on a hook, across there and down in an angle to the skimming up there, and the same from there down there to there, or possibly to something similar to that. They're not ideal, by the way, they're not rated, they're not an ideal thing. That's great, that does give you tension pulling forwards. What's that? Linear tension. Yeah, and that gives you linear tension pulling to the rear, but it doesn't give you lateral tension going across, and that's what we need. We need linear and lateral tension. See there, you're pulling from the outer across, so you've got a lateral pull. You've got 10-ton binder securing a 15-ton machine going across. Well, it's a 14.5-ton machine actually. Centre across. You do not need to cross those chains. You can run it from that one there and go across, and that one there and go across. But you're pulling from the centre to the outer, and that's the important thing. Sign there saying deliveries. And you can see all the time marks on the floor, especially with this dry weather. Look before you leap. With a low loader, when you're coming up to finish curbs like this, you do not want to be bumping up curbs with your trailer. It will damage those tyres. The tyres are incredibly tough on a low loader, but they do not like being bumped up. So if you've got a choice of the two, bump up with the lorry, not the trailer. But best situation, do not bump up at all. So if you look here, we will have to bump up that curve up there. Try and use a dropper if you can. Don't forget just how long your trailer is. You see, so that's it. We've had to go up, but we've gone up the dropper and down the other side of it. This, I've not been here for ages. This site has changed completely from last time I was here. So yeah, we're looking like we're going left here. So this is a perfect example of high curbs. Some of them are already damaged. There's no need to damage curbs. We try not to do. Here we are. We've got a real problem now. We've got roadworks on a curb. I can't get over that. That's dangerous for me, that. What we'll need to do now is put a bit of timber, find something dunnage to put down to get over that. We will have to get out and have a look. Good grief, just had a look. This is the right way in. I've talked to a man. This could be quite tricky. What I'm going to do, there was a bit of tarmac, the curb's not so high back here. Have to just get up it from here. This is hideous. This is a tyre pocket. This is why we conserve our tyres as much as we can for when we have the emergencies like this, where we've got no other way of getting in here but mounting this curb and getting around. There's no feet about, nothing to put down on the floor. Even like this is no guarantee that we're going to get around it in a nice way. I'm just glad it's right. That's the lorry down. See, when you do that with a digger, you might pull a curb out. Let's see if we can drag it all the way to the end of there, and we'll come off at the end here. So we're in. I hate bumping up curbs. I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Pull in, mate. Go round. Go to the office that I send the lads will sort you out.
Thank you very much, mate. Pat on the back from the agent. Fair play. That'll do. The next sketch is you need to keep an eye out where you're going to turn around and get out. So if I draw left here, that's a nice good looking T-junction that, so I might be able to get the machine off and do that if I need to. I think we shall just slip around and walk down to there. We won't just drive down. If I drive down there, that'll be tricky to get out again. Pull up like that, it's not ideal. It's sort of like out of people's way. Hopefully they can get through. Can you get through? Pull up a bit more. Yeah. This is our next job. We're going to take this to Barnsley tomorrow morning. Atlas Material Handling. It's not a really big one. It's something like 2.9 wide, just less than that. 30 tons, I think. And we axle weighted at 30 ton, just over. But we've got a problem. It won't go. It's quite an ergonomic thing. I like these controllers. That's the forward and reverse. Simple, innit? That's for the legs. Not that we're putting them down. Yeah, it's a hell of a thing. Just waiting for embargo to finish. It's 9 o'clock in Lancashire because we've got this thing on. 33 tons. So we've got 20 ton chains. We've got two 10 ton chains pulling to the rear on both sides, so that adds up to 40. And two pulling to the front. As you can see, there is absolutely nothing to chain it onto. That's the best we can find, but at least they are integral to the unit. These feet, the locking pins are all rusted and damaged, so we've secured them with straps just to make sure. It's not going far, but it just makes good sense to that. The boom is down. There we go, you can see that's the one locking pin that works like that. Can you see it? It's a funny thing, it's not that high really. Weren't too bad. We've got to wait because we're loading another lorry and there's only space for one. So she's fine, it's travelled really well. Yeah. Chocks have stayed in place. So what we'll do now is strip off marker boards and straps and things like that whilst we're waiting. And then we can get ourselves sorted out. I'm just waiting for my turn to unload now. There's only one in here at a time. So I've taken off the marker boards and straps that are holding the feet up and stuff like that, because we don't need them, just to manoeuvre. But always keep your securing chains on until you're ready to get the thing off. Now that I've posted some content onto TikTok, I'm getting the occasional comment saying this isn't a low loader. Well, we probably, let's explore that a little bit. In construction and use, there's two kinds of low loader. There's this kind, which is called a step frame low loader, and there is another kind, which is a true low loader. Well, it's not a true low loader, it's a low loader. And the difference is the load bed on a low loader sits beneath the axles. You have another advantage with a low loader. It's allowed to be 18 metres long. This is allowed to be 80 metres long as long as is marked on the movement order. It isn't, it's nothing like that long. Experience. The drivers that operate heavy haulage special types equipment don't call their trailers low loader, they call them special types. And usually, if you ever see Calamity Kim, or when Richard was doing his heavy abnormal loads, he would refer to the trailer with its specific properties, because it might need to be, or the axles might need to manoeuvre, or it might need an extra bogie at the front up there. They're special types. They do not fit to construction and use. You can't MOT a special types trailer. You don't have to MOT one. This is a construction and use trailer. It does have to be MOT'd. But the advantage of that, as we said earlier, I can move small slant on it. I can put smaller plant on, as long so don't go gross out over 44 tonnes. This is Lewis, and this is our spray booth that we use for our diggers. This is paints. So how do you do this? What are you doing now, Lewis?
So it's had a scratch all the way along the bottom end.
Yeah, let me get in the picture properly. Go on.
So it's had a scratch all the way to the bottom end.
Yeah.
Sand it all down.
Yeah.
Give it down to bare metal. And you want this masking out.
Yeah, because they're expensive, those stickers,
yeah,
aren't
expensive, they?
Yeah.
And we'll prime it up. Get it orange and get it back on the road.
Yeah, yeah. How long does it take to do one, mate?
That should be finished today, that hopefully.
Brilliant. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much, pal. Thank you. Low loader survival guide again. Ollie and the boys, Ollie and Michael and Alex, are going to use this big 50 tonner to get this burnt out paver onto his lorry. So it's never a dull moment when you're a low loader driver. You got some pretty hard work to do. So there they are, just getting some chains on it now. They're probably just going to have to drag the thing. It's dragging it around like a rag doll. It's going to need to turn it round to come along that far side to pull it on. What are them pavers? I think they're about 17 tonne they are. I bet you don't see that very often on a tarmacking job. leave them to it because we've got work to do. So that's us. There's been, let me say, some driving tips there, you know, low loader operating tips, survival guide. And I think I won't be the only person to. That's Faye. See you. I was just saying. So that's our little survival guide, part one. If that's popular with viewers and you'd like to see more of them, there's plenty more I can come up with. So just let me know. It's fine. Just let me know in the comments if you like that, and if you want some more survival guide tips, please let me know. I'm more than happy to make them for you. But looking at the tips I've given you, the important one is teamwork, more than anything else. I think people who watch my stuff get this already, but the important thing is to work together to get these jobs done. It's a tricky job. It needs a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and you just do need to cooperate with the people you work with, whether it's ground workers, machine operators, other low loader drivers, site agents. Fighting and blaming and using words that, oh, they lied to me, we're right, it's not going to solve anything. The only thing that's going to solve it is the low loader operators' maturity in getting the thing done. I don't mean maturity in age, I certainly mean maturity in attitude. So, talking of attitude, wonderful colleague of mine, is more heavy haulage than low loader operator like me, Josh Mayle from Yorkshire. He's just started a YouTube channel and he's asked me if I'd give him a mention, which I'm more than happy to do for you, Josh, no problem at all. Give his content a like, or a look and a like, it really is interesting. He does a lot of stuff on the railways, which I find fascinating. We don't do railway work, and I find that really interesting. So that's us, episode 63 done. Thank you for watching, folks. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.